Hey everyone, thanks for joining. We're going to test the sound real quick. Just 1 second. All right, looks like the sound is going good here. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to kind of talk about where the storm is now, and I know we've got tons of reports coming in of some pretty bad damage and power outages all across the area. We're going to try and address as much as we can here in this update. And let's see if we can go ahead and get started. Hey, it's me again, Kevin, with the Weather Service, National Weather Service New Orleans, Baton Rouge office located in Slidell. We're kind of still seeing what happened. We did have a lot of damage and power outages across the area. Uh, we'll kind of go through as much as we can with that, but for right now, we want to actually talk about what's going on right now first, where the storm is, because it's still out there and it's still doing damage in some areas. So let's go ahead and jump right to it right now. And this is the latest radar imagery that we have of Zeta. Now has kind of moved out of our area. Now we have different offices, different National Weather Service offices. For us in the National Weather Service New Orleans area, we cover in southern Mississippi, coastal Mississippi, we cover Pearl River, Hancock, Harrison, and Jackson County. And then Mobile covers George, Stone, Perry, Greene, and those county, and one adjacent or one above. And then Jackson carries Forest, Lamar, and Marion. So the storm center and the impacts in that eye wall we've been talking about a lot lately is now out of our area and is impacting areas near New Augusta, Leakesville, Lucedale, Wiggins, Richton, those areas of Mississippi. So follow at NWS Mobile for the latest updates for impacts in that area, especially if you happen to be listening from Mobile or have family and friend in Mobile, families or friends in Mobile. Then listen from there or follow them there. Again, that's at NWS Mobile. But for right now, we're going to talk about our area. We have seen that some extremely high winds are still ongoing across coastal Mississippi, even though we're really not seeing that much in the way of rain anymore. We're seeing winds 60 miles per hour past Pascagoula. That's a gust right there of 87 miles per hour in Biloxi right now. So the winds are howling. Really bad situation across the Mississippi Gulf Coast. If that we have a lot of power outages, damage, and surge issues all across the Mississippi coast. We want you that if you live in Pearl River, Hancock, Harrison, or Jackson County, Mississippi, just stay inside. Do not go outside. Do not venture around. We've already had some reports already. I believe it's an unconfirmed. Is passed along via the media. I'd have to kind of double check that real quick, but of a fatality from would have been electrocution of a down line, that's why we're telling people do not go out in this at all. This is serious. That just because you think, oh, the storm's over, you can go outside. No. Stay inside. This is a serious situation, and there's still some high winds across the area too. And just call it a night where you're just going to stay in. That's all you got to think about. Just stay in tonight, and you'll be good. So going back a little bit towards St. Tammany, now we're going to talk more about St. Tammany and Washington Parish, and even Tangipahoa. We have a lot of power outages. We're getting a lot of comments I've been seeing about people saying they have the way we don't have power. I've been hearing a lot of reports of that, and unfortunately, it's just because we have a lot of tree damage and a lot of high winds that came across the area a few hours ago. So just hunker down tonight. And just don't go out like I was talking about. Same with the coastal Mississippi counties I was just talking about. Don't go out in St. Tammany, Washington, or Tangipahoa Parish either. Just don't do it. There's way too much damage across the area. We've had already one of our coworkers try and drive home as their shift off. Try and drive home, give reports that there's just damage everywhere, all across near the Twin Span, getting towards New Orleans. That's a very dangerous situation. Of course, we're here working some extensive shifts here, some 8, 10, 12-hour shifts, and eventually we have some people that we have to come in here because we're open 24/7. But it's a dangerous situation. If you don't have to drive, don't do it. New Orleans, current winds and conditions right now, really it's getting a little bit better. We're starting to see a little bit of improvement. MSY Airport gusting around 30 miles per hour now, so it's still breezy out, but not overly extensively gusty or any type of dangerous, damaging winds there. But still, due to the fact that there's so much damage across the city and surrounding areas all across the South Shore, don't get out, don't travel either in that area. Just stay in tonight. That's all you got to say about that. I will go ahead and say that the tornado threat is generally over. I will say that maybe for Harrison and Jackson, the tornado threat is still there, as this band could possibly show a quick spin up. But overall, I would say the tornado threat is extremely low for any of the areas that are watching here in our area where we cover. So the tornado threat, we can basically wipe that off. We're good. Flooding rain threat, We can wipe that off. We're good. It's just some high winds that are lingering on the backside of the storm through the North Shore and South Shore, and then some very high winds still ongoing across coastal Mississippi. It's a very serious situation there, and this will actually be going all the way through Mobile. Mobile's gusting 50, closing in almost 60 miles per hour currently, so this is heading that way too. So Dauphin Island, Gulf Shores, Foley, Mobile, any of that area, we'll be experiencing some very high winds here shortly as the system pulls across the area. And it's racing very fast to the northeast. We're talking about it's pretty much almost riding I-59, a little bit more towards the east than northeast. So basically it's going across Perry County now, and it's going to continue going. And things hauling. It's going to keep going all the way through south central and then central Alabama later tonight, where there could be a high wind risk around Birmingham to Montgomery as well. So be aware of that if you got family and friends up in that area. And by 7 a.m. tomorrow, the storm's going to be near Chattanooga. So that's a very fast-moving storm, and it will no longer be a concern for anyone along the northern Gulf Coast anymore after tonight, and possibly maybe getting it towards maybe between the 12 to 3 o'clock time frame. We'll start to see some of these impacts really reducing across the whole northern Gulf Coast, and a lot of the winds starting to come down as well. So that's where we're at right now. I want to pass along a couple of information notes to pass along. Let's see, we're going to jump to our Twitter page that we've been trying to tell people to follow us on Twitter as much as possible because we're constantly posting updates there. We see that one of the recent updates we had there, we had a peak wind gust of 95 miles per hour from the Gulfport Biloxi Airport, which is pretty incredible there. We just issued a, let's say, it looks like that's signed out there, but we did just issue a public information statement talking about the peak wind gusts there, and I don't have that with me at this moment, though, but that plus Shell Beach gusting to 101 was some of the higher recordings that we had, and then also BioBN View had a peak gust of around, I believe that was in the 112 miles per hour. That's it, 112 miles per hour was the highest measured recording gust that we had was 112, and we had a couple of unconfirmed reports of higher than that. We heard of a couple 120s, but again, that's unconfirmed, and we're not 100% sure about that. But as far as actual measured gust, 112 was the peak for this one. As you can see here on the social media feed, this is a picture. This is a pretty common picture across the region right here of just snap trees. These very skinny southern pines, they snap with these high winds. So this is kind of a view that a lot of people have if you happen to be out tonight. And again, we don't want you to be out, but if you happen to be out. This came from St. Tammany Fire, and it says their personnel is conducting damage surveys, so they have to be out. And we're glad that they're out doing these conducting these damage surveys to know that what kind of damage we have across the area. So this is a pretty common theme from what we've been seeing. Very dangerous to be out and around the area. Golden Nugget Casino in Biloxi, very serious situation with storm surge in that area. Absolutely just not a good situation anywhere across Gulfport to Biloxi and to Pascagoula and Bay St. Louis. Again, you don't want to be out in that area as well. So as you see, we're constantly posting updates all across social media. You can send us, if you happen to have any damage photos across your area, you can send it to us at NWS New Orleans. We'll see them, and that helps us know what actually is occurring and has happened across the area. So please do that, and that'll help us out a lot. Again, we're doing radar posts as well, and we're very much aware there's a lot of power out across the area, and we want just people to hunker down for the rest of tonight. Otherwise, we will see improving conditions from here on out. The storm is not staying around. This is not the type of storm that just sits around and deposits just tons of heavy rainfall. So this is going to be a quick-moving storm, and again, we're not really going to be expecting any more impacts after tonight. We'll see improving conditions tomorrow all the way through the upcoming weekend, and especially by the weekend through the upcoming Halloween time coming around here if you happen to have plans. So again, I'm going to say this one. I know I sound like a broken record, but I mean this very seriously because we already had one potential fatality, if I recall, of people who are out and around, and there's down lines, and you don't want to cross a down line. That's very life-threatening, if not, can be deadly. So a lot of power lines are down across the area. Trees are down too. Travel's difficult. Just don't give it a try. Don't do it. Just stay in tonight. And we'll be able to assess the damage a lot more by later tomorrow when the sun rises tomorrow. But for right now, again, we're going to kind of keep an eye on things. We're going to kind of assess what happened by collecting these reports. And we'll continue to keep you updated, too, based out of those reports. If you have them, please send it to us. Otherwise, as you see, the storm is moving off to the northeast towards, again, parts of still in southern Mississippi, but getting into southern Alabama, and will be impacting areas to the northeast from there on out. But we appreciate you joining us. I know this has been a pretty wild ride. We've been doing these about once an hour all afternoon and evening, but we're going to have to stop doing this now because the threats have now become a little bit more limited, and we have full staff here. We're going to have to really work on collecting reports. We still got to produce forecasts. I mean, that's what we do, and we're going to keep doing that again all throughout the night, as this is a 24/7 operation, trying to keep you as safe as possible. So we'll end it there, and we really appreciate you joining us, and we hope that you're staying safe out there. Do not travel, and we'll see some improving conditions here on out. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll meet you back next time. So stay safe.